Ever wondered why some people seem to hold an uncanny power over others, subtly manipulating them to their whims? It's not magic, it's Stoicism. In the grand theater of life, manipulation and power often take center stage. They lurk in the shadows of every interaction, every decision, every outcome. But what if we told you that there's a way to not only understand this game, but to play it effectively? Enter Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that holds the key to unlocking the intricacies of manipulation. Stoicism teaches us that power doesn't lie in controlling others, but in mastering ourselves. It's about understanding the dynamics of human behavior and using this knowledge to our advantage. But don't be mistaken, Stoicism isn't about becoming a puppet master. It's about learning to navigate the murky waters of manipulation, to recognize when we're being played and to turn the tables when necessary. Knowing how to navigate the manipulative tendencies of others starts with understanding 7 key Stoic lessons. The first Stoic lesson is to understand what we can control and what we cannot. This is known as the dichotomy of control in Stoicism, a powerful tool to guard against manipulation. Think of your life as a vast ocean. Some things, like the weather and the currents, are beyond your control. But you can control how you navigate, how you react to those elements. In the grand scheme of things, the manipulator is like the weather, unpredictable, sometimes stormy. But remember, you are the captain of your ship. You decide how to respond, how to steer your course amidst the storm. If you focus on controlling your reactions, your decisions, your emotions, you strip the manipulator of their power. The dichotomy of control is not just a theoretical concept. It's a practical tool, a compass guiding you through the tumultuous seas of manipulation and power games. By focusing on what you can control, you render the manipulator powerless. The second Stoic lesson teaches us to be resilient in the face of emotional manipulation. Emotional resilience is the ability to adapt and bounce back when something difficult happens, and in Stoicism, it's about accepting our feelings but not letting them control us. It's like being a rock in a stormy sea. The waves crash over you, but you remain unmoved. This resilience can be a shield against manipulation. When someone tries to manipulate you, they're essentially trying to control your emotions. But if you're emotionally resilient, you can recognize these attempts for what they are and refuse to be swayed. So how can we cultivate this emotional resilience? It starts with awareness. Be mindful of your emotions and how they're influenced by others. Then practice acceptance. Understand that emotions are natural, but they don't have to dictate your actions. With emotional resilience, you can stand firm against any manipulative tactics. The third Stoic lesson reveals the power of perception in manipulation. In the realm of Stoicism, perception plays a pivotal role. It is the lens through which we view the world, shaping our thoughts, feelings, and ultimately, our actions. Manipulators, however, are adept at exploiting this, subtly influencing our perceptions to steer us in desired directions. But how do we maintain control over our own perceptions? The answer lies in self-awareness. By understanding our own biases and questioning our initial reactions, we can start to unmask the intentions of those who might wish to manipulate us. It's about not simply accepting what is presented to us, but dissecting it, turning it over in our minds, and seeking our own truths. Remember, manipulation thrives in the absence of critical thought. By exercising independent thinking, we can avoid being mere puppets in someone else's show. Your perception is your reality. Don't let anyone manipulate it. The fourth Stoic lesson introduces us to the art of indifference. In the realm of Stoicism, indifference isn't about apathy or disinterest, but rather about detachment from things outside our control. It's a practice of focusing on what we can influence and letting go of what we can't. This outlook, when mastered, becomes a powerful tool against manipulation. Imagine a puppeteer attempting to control a puppet without strings. That's what manipulation becomes when met with true indifference. The manipulator's power is nullified, their tactics rendered ineffective. To master the art of indifference, we must first understand our sphere of control, recognize what you can change, and accept what you cannot. This acceptance, this detachment, is the essence of indifference. It's not about not caring, but about caring for the right things. It's about knowing when to engage and when to step back. Indifference is a shield against manipulation. Use it wisely. The fifth Stoic lesson explores the power of acceptance. Acceptance in the world of Stoicism isn't about waving a white flag or turning a blind eye. It's about embracing reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. It's about understanding that we can't control everything around us, but we can control how we respond to it. In the face of manipulation, acceptance can be a shield. It allows us to recognize the manipulator's actions without getting emotionally entangled. When we accept, we gain clarity. We see things for what they are rather than what they appear to be. Practicing acceptance begins with mindfulness. Be present, stay observant, and let go of the need to control. Understand that people act according to their understanding, not yours. Remember, being accepting doesn't mean being passive. It means being proactive in understanding situations and choosing your responses wisely. Acceptance isn't weakness. It's a tool to combat manipulation. The sixth Stoic lesson underscores the value of virtue. In the realm of Stoicism, virtue isn't merely about good deeds or moral righteousness. It's the bedrock of character, the guiding compass in our decision-making process, and the defining element of our personal identity. Virtue, in the Stoic sense, is a harmonious blend of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, each element complementing the other to form a strong, well-rounded character. Now, you might be wondering, how does virtue relate to manipulation? Well, the answer lies in the very nature of manipulation itself. Manipulation thrives on exploiting weaknesses, insecurities, and vulnerabilities. A person of virtue, however, presents a formidable challenge to the manipulator. Their strong sense of self, coupled with their unwavering adherence to their values, makes them less susceptible to manipulation. Consider this. A manipulator tries to flatter you, to sway you from your path. But you, grounded in your virtues, see through this ploy. You are secure in your self-worth and thus immune to such flattery. Or perhaps a manipulator attempts to instill fear, to coerce you into submission. But you, bolstered by courage, stand your ground. You understand that fear is a natural human response, but it does not dictate your actions. So how does one cultivate virtue? It starts with self-awareness, knowing yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses. It's about continuously striving to better yourself, to align your actions with your values. It's about making the hard choices, even when they're uncomfortable, because they're aligned with your principles. And remember, virtue isn't a destination, it's a journey. It's a lifelong commitment to self-improvement and growth. It requires patience, perseverance, and a whole lot of introspection. It's not about being perfect, it's about striving to be the best version of yourself. So arm yourself with virtue. Let it be your guiding light in the face of manipulation. Let it fortify your defenses and empower you to stand your ground. Because when you are grounded in virtue, manipulation loses its power. Virtue is more than just morality. It's a shield against manipulation. The final Stoic lesson emphasizes the importance of wisdom. Imagine wisdom as your shield, your safeguard against manipulation. It's the cornerstone of Stoicism, the guiding light that illuminates your path, helping you discern the truth from lies, the genuine from the deceitful. But what exactly is wisdom in Stoicism? Stoic wisdom is not about accumulating facts or knowing the answers to trivia questions. Instead, it's about understanding the nature of things, recognizing the interconnectedness of life, and comprehending the reality behind the illusions that often cloud our judgment. It's about discerning what's within our control and what's not, and acting accordingly. You see, manipulation thrives on ignorance and confusion. It feeds on our fears, our insecurities, and our lack of understanding. Wisdom, in contrast, dispels these shadows. It allows us to see things as they really are, stripping away the layers of deception that manipulators often use to control us. It equips us with the tools we need to make sound decisions, to choose our actions wisely, and to live in harmony with our true nature. But how does one acquire such wisdom? In Stoicism, wisdom is gained through a continuous process of learning, reflection, and practice. It's about questioning our assumptions, challenging our beliefs, and seeking truth even when it's uncomfortable. It's about learning from our experiences, both good and bad, and using them to grow and evolve. Wisdom is also about embracing humility. It's about recognizing that we don't know everything and that there's always room for growth and improvement. It's about being open to new ideas, new perspectives, and new experiences. It's about learning to listen, to observe, and to understand before we judge or react. So arm yourself with wisdom. Seek it relentlessly. Nurture it daily. Let it be your guide, your protector, your beacon in the stormy seas of life. Remember, wisdom is not just about knowing, it's about understanding, it's about discerning, it's about living in harmony with the world and with ourselves. With wisdom comes the power to see through manipulation and control your own destiny.